Yo, like I really am a whole homemaker. I put so much time and effort into making my home comfortable. It's literally set up like a recovery center. We have activity spaces, and I really run my house like we're in recovery because we are. We have cooking activities, we have a routine, not schedules. My children are just like how I am with that. We have routines, but as far as setting a time for it, that causes us a lot of stress. And it caused problems with them with school, problems with me with work. And now at this point, all of my adult children have left their 9 to 5s to work for themselves. So I'm very happy about that. And I'm happy that they trusted me enough to trust them enough to be able to live their lives like that, because our mental health needs to come first. And when you really can find a way to live your life where you don't have to work a 9 to 5, you can build about a business around your gifts and your passions and still be happy and still live a good life, a good fulfilling life. I feel like people want instant wealth and instant gratification, and I feel like they don't want to take the time to build a strong foundation to have something long lasting. And I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it anymore. It was literally driving me insane. And now I have the time to actually get to know my children so that I know how to raise them properly. I thought that I was raising my children properly because I was teaching them practical things, but on a much deeper level, as far as developing their character, teaching them about their higher power, teaching them the history of where they come from, it's all encompassing because it takes every day for me to learn more to show them. I'm still growing up myself. I wasn't raised. I had adopted parents that abandoned me, and I've been on my own since I'm like 12 or 13 years old. I've been working my whole life. I got my first job at 15 and 9 months, or 14 and 9 months. I think that's how old you had to be back in the 90s to be able to work in Maryland. But I just have been through so much, and I've been on my own for so long. I can't focus on anything else except the development of my children. I don't want to send them out into the world a blight on society. I want them to understand their connection with God. I want them to understand their true potential. And I want them to push their limits and to, see how far they can go. I want them to live a truly free life. And I want them to find out who they really are. They just need space to grow. Like, I don't have to force them to be anything. I don't want them to be like me. I want them to look at me and learn from my good qualities as well as the qualities that are not so nice. But I'm proud of us. We've done really well this week. We've been working on boundaries because the one thing that's been getting under everybody's skin is boundaries being crossed. If someone tells you that what you are doing bothers them, you should stop. You don't need to sit there and argue back and forth. That's not what I'm doing. All this other stuff. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Especially if it's your family. Your family is the one that's going to tell the truth about you. They know you the best. They live with you. They literally live with you. They see you 24 hours a day. So if you're living with a family member and you love each other and they tell you that you're doing something that bothers them, you're probably doing it. You may just not be aware of it. Like, it's not a personal attack. It's literally that other person asking you to stop driving them crazy. And if you love them, you need to show love by being open to the things that other people say about you that care about you, but you may be doing something that needs to be addressed. Why don't you just be open to maybe needing to address it? It's like, can we get out the ego? Can we all have an ego death? Can we as a collective have an ego death? Because some of y'all with these egos are doing too much. Like, never wanting to admit that you're wrong. Who does that benefit? It's like, if someone tells you that you're doing something wrong, that's an opportunity for you to grow. Don't you want to be the best version of yourself? Like, I don't understand why it's so hard for us to admit when we are wrong. You have to be wrong sometime. Are you think you always right all the time? That makes no sense. Why are you here? We supposed to be evolving. That is the whole point in life, to evolve. I don't want to be reincarnated here. Okay? I want to get out of this reincarnation, birth cycle. I don't want to come here. I want to ascend that cycle. You feel me? Now we getting into Buddhism. Honey, don't mind me. I've been in my Vedic astrology chart, and it took me down this rabbit hole of learning about Hinduism and Buddhism and all types of stuff. Did you know Jesus was a Buddhist? I did not know that. So why aren't Christians Buddhists? If Jesus was a Buddhist, how come Christians aren't Buddhists? I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know what y'all be doing. But listen, I just know that I'm trying to find the truth, and I every day spend a lot of time and effort having a connection with spirit. And that's another reason why I left my 9 to 5. Why I'm so glad. It's not like why I left my 9 to 5, but another benefit that I have from not having a 9 to 5 is being able to cultivate a relationship with my ancestors, with my spirit guides, and with my God, my creator God, the mother goddess, that primordial ooze, that nature, that thing, that her, that is God to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't connect to anything patriarchal. I don't connect to anything controlling. Now, I have heavy Saturn placements in my chart. Everybody seems to think that malefic planets are there to like traumatize you. That's not true. Them heavy planets are there to challenge you so that you grow. It's not like Jupiter or Venus who just freely give gifts, just giving gifts that you really didn't necessarily earn. But like some of those harder planets, like what I'm ruled by, Mars. That's only one thing I'm ruled by, but I ain't gonna tell you everything in my chart. You don't need to know all that. Like, if you pay close enough attention, you can probably tell what my astrological signs are. What you think my sun sign is? Yeah, those boundaries are no joke. And it goes so much deeper than not doing something that annoys somebody. The way that you speak to someone could be crossing their boundaries. How close you are in proximity to their body could be crossing their boundaries. Putting your hands on their stuff, touching their stuff without asking, that could be crossing someone's boundaries. It's like the perimeters that someone has for the role that they play in your relationship. It's not so much that you're trying to well, yes, you are training people how to treat you. And if someone says, hey, if we're going to be friends, I don't like this, I don't like that, and this is what I need from you. I wish people would do that before they get married and have kids. That boundary thing is a big deal, and I have the time now to spend hours in a room, in a circle, hanging out and talking to my kids about everything. Things that have happened to them in their past, things that they're interested in things that they've learned, things they're afraid of. Just, I've learned so much in such a short period of time because we spend so much time with each other now. I love it. I love it. Like, I took my family for granted for so long, but now I'm living my life in a more conscious way, and it's like everything I do is totally purposeful. Like, that's why I keep that chessboard over there, so that everybody remembers to have a chess master's mentality with as far as how they move and how they think. Like, I used to think 100 years ahead. That was last week. Now I'm thinking about the afterlife. I'm thinking about how every decision I make right now affects my freaking karma and whether I can get up out of here, because I don't want to keep repeating the same patterns. It's always the same thing. Even if you look at human history, it's always the same patterns. Every so often, 100,000 years, we got the same bullshit going on socially. And it's like, no, I'm not trying to do that. I don't want to repeat my mistakes. I don't want to repeat my past. So that's why I spend so much time making sure that I get new information and practice what I preach. I can't just get the information. It's just information. It's just data until you apply it. It becomes knowledge once you apply it and you know how to use it and you can give it to other people. Otherwise, the things that I'm learning about is just data. It's just words on a page. But I'm so excited to see how far that we can go. And the next thing that I believe that everybody is working on is showing up and consistency. I know a couple of them kids working on discipline, and in a lot of ways, so am I. So the biggest thing that we're going to work on next as a group is discipline. There's some eating a little bit too much. There's some not doing your chores consistently. There's some, you need to put that down. So there's some things that we need to work on, but I love you, and I will catch you in the next episode. Peace.